You are looking at raindrops. When I aim my camera through the car window on a rainy night, every single one of the drops projects one of these incredible web-like structures. As you can see, there's a source of light on the other side of the car window. That's just a regular street lamp, but it could be any source of light. And all I'm doing is filming up close through the drops individually. And every single one of these incredible luminous web structures is unique. They're like snowflakes. No two are ever exactly the same. And as you can see, they're just absolutely stunningly beautiful. But what I'm most excited about is to show you guys the transition, the improvement in the quality of these images from the first video I posted of them a couple of days ago to now, because it allows me to demonstrate how I sort of participate in or co-create my reality. When I first emerged from my dark night of the soul a few years ago, I was sort of overwhelmed with all of the new colors and lights and shapes and textures, and it was just like I'd suddenly been thrown into this new level of reality, and things were brighter and more defined, and there was just more of everything, more colors, more beauty, more sounds. And at first it was confusing, and I didn't really know how to bring myself into this world and interact in it, and also be able to continue to interact with the people that I knew from my sort of former life before I had my awakening moment. But pretty quickly I figured out that I didn't have to be totally overwhelmed all the time, that I could turn the depth and the intensity of these experiences up or down with my attention and my intention. If I paid a lot of attention to a particular experience, like for example these webs, I see these when it rains, especially when I'm wearing my glasses, because the raindrops collect on the glasses just like they do on the car window here. And every time I pass a light source, I see these. But if I'm going through a day when I've already had a lot of intensity that day, I'm sort of maxed out in terms of my central nervous system, and I don't need a lot of kind of brightness overloading me, I can literally just decide not to see them. It took me a long time to be able to be so precise about it. At first, I just realized that the parts of my reality that I was thinking about more and paying more attention to would be more intense or brighter or more beautiful. And I'd occasionally think of something that I used to see, like, oh, I remember when I used to look at the car lights, they would have these almost like these long beams that would come out from them and seem like they were going up all the way into space, is an example of something else that I see. but I would realize, like, I actually haven't seen that for like a couple of months now. And I was able to put together pretty quickly that it was all to do with attention. And so I've, through a lot of trial and error, figured out how to use my attention almost like an instrument or a tool and be quite precise with it. And so this is an example of how that works. In the last video, you could see the web-like structures, but they weren't quite as beautiful as they look in my actual vision. They were sort of a little bit more dull and just hadn't quite translated to the screen in all of their glory. But now, in this second video that I took a couple of days later, because I had spent those 2 days thinking about these and giving all of my attention to them, editing the video, thinking about whether or not to share them publicly, which was a big thing for me because I always feel a little bit hesitant about sharing the really beautiful stuff publicly because I get a bit possessive. But I do think that beauty it's not mine to own, and I do feel like it's there to be shared and enjoyed by everyone. But I spent 2 days giving my psychological and emotional attention to these incredible displays of beauty. And as a result, when I came back to take the second video at the same place, another rainy night, very similar, the quality of the images is just, there's no comparison. They're just so much brighter and more beautiful and more intricate here and more multicolored. And so this is a very good example of how quickly I can improve or intensify the beauty and just everything about an experience of mine, a sensory experience, by paying attention to it. And the reason I wanted to talk about this experience of co-creating my reality isn't just to be able to share these beautiful images and the other images that I've posted to the channel so far. And I have such a huge backlog. Like, I just have so many just incredibly beautiful, unbelievable, magical images in my camera roll. It's going to take me a while before I'm caught up putting them in these videos, but I wanted to, I guess, bring to light, pardon the pun, just how much of ourselves we bring to our reality. Because, of course, my attention and my intention and my thoughts and emotions are going to be directed to things according to who I am and what I'm feeling and what my experience is at any given time. And it's not just these sensory experiences and sort of light and shadow and water shows that I've been filming and putting on YouTube. It's not just these that are impacted by my attention. It's everything in my reality. It's my friendships and my day-to-day experiences in the community and my enjoyment of being with my son. And I've realized that this boundary that we put between our internal reality and our external reality is so much more arbitrary than we realize. And we really do bring our reality into being through who we are, because what is our attention but an expression of who we are and what we're about on the inside. Coming to this insight has helped me to completely reconstruct the way I look at my life, and I now think of my life as a living, breathing artwork. I don't make a distinction between the reality around me and my own self and my own life. I wrap it all up into this artwork, this infinite, moving, living, breathing creation. And it's thinking about my reality that way that I think has allowed me to take what was originally when I first came out of my dark night of the soul and first sort of came into my awakening, a very just cacophonous, overwhelming experience, to take that and refine it and work with it and mold it and actually turn it into this magical reality where I get to experience these incredible, beautiful sights and smells and sounds and moods and emotions that weren't available to me before and that are not even supposed to exist. So I hope that this insight has helped you to be able to see just how much power you really do have over your reality. We all do. We are all choosing our reality every day. It's just that most of us don't realize it. I was always doing it. I just didn't realize it until very recently. And when you realize it, you can take over your own life and claim dominion over your artwork and become the creator of the artwork of your life, rather than allowing yourself to sort of be created from the outside and fall into roles and ideas and viewpoints and relationships and houses and jobs that were kind of created for you from the outside by social norms and pressures and expectations and you wanting to be validated by the world, as we all are. But I hope that this will maybe give you that little bit of inspiration to see that you can take back control and you can become the creator of your own life. And it's honestly not anywhere near as hard as a lot of people make it out to be. It's really the simplest thing there is, and that's just to start listening to yourself and paying attention to who you truly are.